Well, I think that's the end of my angle grinder. So it's smoking and shooting sparks out the side where the motor is, and now it will not start. I don't know, DeWalt angle grinder, I've had it for a while. I guess they just have a lifespan, limited lifespan. So that puts a halt in my production. I was going to clean up this table, this little bench, and nothing. So now I know why guys have 2 and 3 of these. Okay, so tonight I want to start the finishing process on the table and the bench, Jake. And I want to walk you guys through how I finish. It's really pretty simple. It's simple but time consuming. So it's a varnish base finished, and I'll show it to you in a minute. And I'm just building up multiple layers over time. So I try to do a coat a day, but I usually will give it a little bit more cure time, about coats 3 or 4. So I try to do 5 coats. So on a project like this, I'll probably do 5 coats on the bottom and maybe 6 or 7 coats on the top, since that's going to take a little bit more. It's going to get more use than the bottom will. So it's a big project, it's a big table, so it's going to take a while to finish. So let me show you what I use and how I apply the finish. So here's the finish that I use. It's Waterlox Original. It is the sealer slash finish, and it's been around since 1910, and it's regarded, I believe, as one of the better varnish finishes out there. Now, it's really easy to apply. So I use the blue shop towels because they are lint free, and you don't have to worry about lint coming off your towel when you're applying the finish. So very simply, I take one of these plates. I'm not going to use the top one in case it's got some dust in it. Use one of these plates. I put some finish in it, and I put one of those blue gloves on just to protect, just to keep all that crap off my hands. And then I just start rubbing the finish on. It's pretty simple. So I pour some varnish into the little plate like that, and I'm going to let it soak in that napkin. And I'm just going to bring it down and start rubbing it in. You'll kind of feel when you're starting to run out. I get it all on there. I just make some even passes like this to smooth out anything that I can't see. So that's coat number 1. Like I said, easy to apply, and really produces a durable finish. All right, now I'm going to shift gears to the big table. Alright, this is how it looks after just 1 coat of varnish. It probably looks a little bit better on film than it does in real life, because that'll dry up and still be pretty dull. But that's where you start, 1 coat. Make sure you put the cap back on your Waterlox pretty tight, because that stuff will dry out on you, and it is pricey, so you don't want to waste any. And I poured the excess back in there. So alright, that's coat 1. Only 4 more to go on the bottom and about 7 more to go on the top. Alright, this is about the best angle on it, but I've been doing some painting, and I put this thing outside to paint it for 2 reasons. 1, just for ventilation, and 2, you can just see a lot more of the imperfections from the first coat out in the sun. But the sun's starting to duck down behind the house, so it's kind of a sunny and half sunny, half shady spot. So, but this is flat black Rust-Oleum. Let me show you what the can looks like. It's pretty simple. So this is the second coat of black. I put 2 coats of primer on, sanded the last coat down. I'll sand this coat down with some probably some 400 grit paper just by hand, wipe it all down real good, and I'll put the final coat on, and the base will be finished. So getting close. Last time I was doing some grinding, my DeWalt angle grinder just died. Started shooting sparks out of the side of it, started smoking. So that did delay me a couple of days, but I did pick up a new angle grinder, and let me show it to you. So that's the Milwaukee. This one actually has a guard on it. My DeWalt had a guard on it, but I think I took it off. And it is the, looking for a number, don't really see one. It's a 4.5-inch grinder. I bought it on HomeDepot.com, and I think it was about 86 bucks. So it's very heavy, and you can see it's a lot beefier than the DeWalt. So maybe it'll last longer. I can't remember how long I've had the DeWalt, but it's got to be, I'd say 10 years or so. So I can't complain. But anyways, got to shift gears to this project and get these welds ground down on the top so I can get my get this thing cleaned up and painted. So that's what I'm working on today. So some of my welds don't look 100% perfect. Some of them look really good, like that one. I'm pretty confident that I'm getting really good penetration in the metal, and I've just decided not to grind down my welds. This is the skill level that I have at this point with my welding, and not that I'm bragging, certainly not bragging about that, but I'm going to leave it because I don't feel it's right to grind the welds down. Now, I did grind the welds down on the top because that would interfere with the seat sitting flush on it. All right, I'm going to get this thing washed down with some metal prep, Pour 15 metal prep, and then I'm going to get some primer on it, get it going. So here's the base finished. Got about 3 coats of primer, or 2 coats of primer, 3 coats of black, and I think it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. So this is representative of 4 coats on the bottom, and I got 1 coat left to do. I'm going to flip it over, and I'll be able to finish the top. I'm probably going to do about 6 or 7 coats on the top just for durability. But this is turning out really, really nice. It looks really, really good. So almost done. Next video will show the completed table.